Hello and welcome to Ben Television News. I am Kiru Oguli. First, the highlights. The All Progressives Congress canvasses for fair and credible polls ahead of 2015. One of Nigeria's opposition party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, adopts President Goodluck Jonathan as its candidate for 2015 presidential elections. The United States government says it has no favored candidates in next year's presidential elections in Nigeria. And Nigeria and a Brazilian power company have signed a working agreement that will boost the country's power supply to the tune of 700 megawatts. Now the news. The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party is contemplating fielding President Goodluck Jonathan as his sole candidate for the 2015 presidential primaries. The thinking within the top echelon of the party is that the party will emulate the United States democracy, where the right of first refusal is usually given to the president. Already, some members of the National Working Committee of the party were said to have favored the arrangement, which will see Jonathan emerge as the sole candidate of the party. According to the timetable for 2015 elections released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, conduct of party primaries will commence on October 2nd, 2014 and end on December 11, 2014. One of Nigeria's opposition party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, has adopted President Goodluck Jonathan as its presidential candidate for the 2015 general elections. The party, at the political rally over the weekend in Awka, the Anambra State capital, openly endorsed President Jonathan for a second term in office. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano told the Mama's Crowd that at the rally that the party is proud of President Goodluck Jonathan's achievements. As preparations for the 2015 general elections gathers momentum in Nigeria, the main opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, has called for fairness and the rights of the electorate to vote for candidates of their choice without intimidation or molestation. The national chairman of the party, John Oyegun, said this while playing host to the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, James Entwistle, at the party's secretariat in Abuja over the weekend.
And a stable Nigerian nation can only be possible when there is fairness, can only be possible when there is equity, can only be possible when there is justice, can only be possible when the right to choose is respected, freely choose, is respected and guaranteed. And we hope that you talk to all of us, particularly the powers that be.
On his part, the visiting U.S. ambassador James Entwistle called on Nigerian electorate not to commercialize their voting rights in the forthcoming elections.
And I constantly tell individual Nigerians when I speak to students or whatever, be very careful about that right to vote. Don't give it away cheaply. Don't let anyone influence it. Don't let anyone buy it. It's the most precious thing in the world. One of the other messages that I talk about a lot related to the nonviolence message, and sir, you've just put your finger on it, is the important role that the security services have to play. They have a huge responsibility in any country, including mine, to maintain security and a peaceful atmosphere during elections. That's their job. We support them in that. But you're absolutely right. They have to do it with a studious neutrality so that they're not seen as favoring either side.
Correspondent Muya Bamidele reports that U.S. ambassador's visit to the National Secretariat of the Nigerian main opposition party, the All Progressives Congress in Abuja, was part of the American government's campaign for credible elections in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the United States government has said it has no favored presidential candidate in the next year's presidential elections in Nigeria. The U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, James Entwistle, said this in Abuja, the Nigerian capital, that the United States government will only support Nigerian masses for free, fair, and credible elections.
I'm frequently asked who does the United States support in the elections next February? And my answer is quite clear. The United States supports the Nigerian people in their quest for the transparent, credible election that they want and that they deserve. That's where we're coming from. So we're not here to support any party or any candidate. We're here to support what you just talked about, a credible process in which the Nigerian people can freely express their wishes. That's what it's all about.
The People's Democratic Party has granted a waiver to former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nuhu Ribadu, and a former military administrator of Lagos and Borno States, Buba Marwa, as well as Marcus Gundiri, the governorship candidates of the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria in the 2011 elections, to run as aspirants under the platform of the party in the October 11 governorship by-election in Adamawa State. PDP spokesman Olisa Metu made the disclosure to journalists over the weekend at the National Secretariat of the party. The three aspirants had earlier submitted their application for waiver to the National Working Committee of the party. A leader of the Nigerian ruling Democratic Party, Chief Bode George, has tongue-lashed the opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, for its failure to participate in the just concluded national conference. Bode George, in an exclusive chat with correspondent Muyiwa Bamidele in Abuja, described the APC's absence at the Congress as a political miscalculation.
Look at this conference. They refused to attend. The only political party that refused to attend. And if that is their concept, you refuse to join up to discuss the Nigerian project, and you are offering yourself to say, I will come and manage you, where would they start from? Absolute blunder, political suicide. It's a harakiri in politics. How would you now decide that you want to come and rule the people? People who have discussed, look at those contentious matters that have plagued these nations for so long. Where are they? They are not there. They are not here. Where are their leaders? You know, so why would Nigerians trust them to manage the resources and their problems on their behalf? Because when you go and contest, you are telling the people, please trust me, that I will manage your resources for the betterment of the people. And for me, they will need to go back to their drawing board. You can see the number of so many of their heavyweights decamping back to PDP.
The Nigerian Medical Association has welcomed the reinstatement of over 16,000 doctors sacked by the government and the reversal of a ban on the doctors' residency training. The national president of the NMA, Kayode Obembe, applauded government's decision when he announced the development to members of the association during an executive council meeting in Awka, the Anambra State capital. He said the action of the federal government was a welcome development, adding that the association had been hopeful that government will reverse its decision after the suspension was announced. And now to foreign news. The Ebola virus has spread to Senegal, the country's health ministry has confirmed. Senegal's first case was a Guinean student who showed up for treatment at a hospital in the capital, Dakar, last week. Senegal's health minister, Awa Marie Kosek, told reporters. She said the man had denied having contact with Ebola victims in his home country, when indeed he had escaped surveillance, and Guinean authorities had searched for him for 3 weeks. The minister said tests at the Pasteur Institute in Dakar proved he had the virus and the man had been quarantined. The Prime Minister of the Southern African Kingdom of Lesotho has fled to South Africa, alleging a coup by the army and saying his life is in danger. Thomas Tambane said he will return from South Africa, which surrounds Lesotho, as soon as the country is safe for him. Reports said the capital, Missouri, is now come after soldiers seized building, but the army denied any coup attempts. Lesotho has seen a series of military coups since independence in 1966. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll bring you other stories. Please stay with us.
Strength as a nation lies in our unity. Come rain or shine, this great promise called Nigeria will stand. Nigeria truly cares for our parents. Our soldiers will definitely bring back our girls. Say no to terrorism. Nigerians, indeed, we will overcome. This message is from the National Orientation.
Welcome back. And now to business. Nigeria and a Brazilian power company have signed a working agreement that will boost the country's power supply to the tune of an additional 700 megawatts. At the end of the signing ceremony in Abuja over the weekend, Nigerian Minister of Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, said the development was a part of President Jonathan's transformation agenda to uplift socio-economic status of the country through power sector.
What we are saying today is the very first takeoff of implementation of that Memorandum of Understanding, bringing Benko and Nagia to work with the Federal Ministry of Power for their plant. This is all part of Mr. President's transformation agenda. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan insists that Nigerians deserve better power supply in larger quantities, best possible quality, and that no community or household in Nigeria should be left in darkness.
The leader of the Brazilian energy company, Rodrigo Bandin, said the firm will be injecting over $900 million into their first power plant in Nigeria that will be located in Bayelsa State in the south-south part of the country.
We're starting with energy business. More specifically, we are providing power generation to Nigeria by these days. We also want to expand our activities here, providing transmission lines, providing substations and other infrastructure to energy sector. But we are starting with a power plant of 688 megawatts. The first investment for this 688 megawatts power plant is estimated to be from $800 to $900 million. But of course, it all depends on the definitive studies that we're going to have to do now that we have signed our MOU with the government.
Other members of the delegation also commented on the proposed power plants.
And this project is a project that will help our country, Nigeria, to be more efficient in power generation, because they want to put 688 megawatts from starting.
Well, as a matter of fact, the financing has already been in place. We have the financing in place. What we are doing now is just to do the local content to make sure that we have all the necessary licenses from government. Once we have all the licenses, we are ready to roll.
A cross-section of Nigerians have been reacting to the new move by the Central Bank of Nigeria to reintroduce withdrawal charges on automated teller machines across the country. Ben Television's crew hit the streets of Abuja, the nation's capital city, and got the views of some Nigerians on the subject matter.
If you recall very well, when the former charges were in operation, the ATM were functioning. Just needed some perfection. But when they now declared that the charges are now free, the services went down. And some banks are claiming that a lot of money for overhead were drawn from those charges. I don't have it, so most of the ATM were down. So if these charges will now make the ATMs to function and make it accessible for the masses, I think they're in order.
Well, for me, I should feel bad because I don't see government contradicting itself always. If these charges were deemed not to be necessary, I wouldn't have seen why a new administration in the banking sector will come and contradict.
Yes, to me it's a welcome development. That shows Mr. Emefiele Godwin knows what he's to face, knows his onions. That shows he knows much about the banking sector. And to me, I believe he's a man the CBN or the banking sector needs for now.
So to me, on my own opinion, it's too early to bring such policy. So it should have leaving us going the way we have been doing it. Because Nigerians, you can see the crisis we are facing, both the security challenges. People complain about there is no money poverty. When you go to the 36 states of Nigeria, you can see what is happening. So to me, and my own opinion, and I believe, and speaking because I'm a youth, I believe it's too early to take such a position.
Moving over to entertainment, Nigerian music star Olamide Bado Adedeji is set for his first tour across several European countries. The tour will come up September this year. As part of the schedule, Olamide will perform at cities including Denmark, Belgium, Switzerland, Athens, and Frankfurt during the 10-day tour. Before the official tour begins, he will be in Dublin, Ireland for a show and is also expected to headline a major concert in Cyprus. And now to sports. Nigerian Minister of Sports Tami Danagogo has indicated his readiness to offset Stephen Keshe's bill to handle the Super Eagles for the African Cup of Nations 2014 qualifying matches against Congo and South Africa if the Nigerian Football Federation refuses to pay. Though Keshe has been holding talks with the NFF negotiators about a new contract after the parties fell out after Brazil 2014. Danagogo, who also doubles as the chairman of the NSC, told reporters after a courtesy visit by the newly elected factional board of the NFF that the commission will meet Keshe's term for the two important fixtures if the federation could not cover the fees. Samuel Eto'o has revealed that he has turned down the chance to return to Italy in order to pen a 2-year deal at Everton. Having dropped into the free agent pool at the end of his Chelsea contract, Eto'o had no shortage of options to consider over the summer. Clubs from across the globe were reported to have been preparing offers for the vastly experienced Cameroonian striker. Before we go, here's a look at our major stories. The All Progressives Congress pressed for free and fair polls ahead of 2015. The All Progressives Grand Alliance endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan for a second term in office. United States government says it has no favored candidate at the next year's presidential elections in Nigeria. And Nigeria and a Brazilian power company are working to boost power supply in the country. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Nkiru Owuli. Enjoy the rest of the day.